All right, welcome to the explainer. If you were trying to make this whole hybrid work thing work, you know it can be a real mix, right? You've got this incredible freedom, but then you've got all these confusing new challenges. So today, we are going to skip the theory and just give you a clear, actionable guide to make hybrid work truly work for you.
Okay, let's just start here, because Dr. Ivan Joseph absolutely nails a feeling that so many of us have. We've got the flexibility we wanted, which is great, but that feeling of being a team, well, it can feel like it's constantly buffering. And that disconnect, it's a real problem.
And look, this isn't just in our heads. The data really backs this up. Since we all made this big shift to hybrid, employees have reported a 12% increase in stress.
And it doesn't stop there. You can add a 15% increase in anxiety on top of that.
And then there's this one, a pretty significant 20% jump in work-life conflict. I mean, these numbers are telling a story. They show us that without a real strategy, the hybrid model can put a serious strain on people.
So that's the big question, isn't it? A successful hybrid model, it turns out, just doesn't happen by accident. It has to be designed, intentionally. And that's exactly what this explainer is all about, giving you the toolkit to design it the right way. So let's dive into our first pillar. And you know what? It doesn't start with your laptop. It starts with your environment. Your physical space really sets the tone for your entire day.
Now, the great thing here is that you don't need a huge budget or a whole separate room to make a real difference. As you're about to see, some small, really mindful changes to your workspace can have a massive impact on your well-being and, of course, your productivity.
First things first, please get off the couch. I know it's tempting, but when you work from the same place you relax, it just blurs all the lines between work life and home life, and it makes it so much harder to switch off at the end of the day. A dedicated desk or even just a specific corner of a table sends a clear signal to your brain. Okay, this is where work happens.
Now just look at the difference here. It's so simple, but so important. On the left, you see how that bent wrist creates a major pressure point. But on the right, it's a straight line from the elbow to the hand. That tiny adjustment is what prevents the kind of repetitive strain that can totally derail your focus and lead to long-term pain. It's that low-level, constant physical discomfort that really feeds into the daily stress we're all trying to avoid. So what if you don't have an adjustable chair or some fancy footrest? No sweat. The goal is just to have your feet flat and supported. That's what relieves all that pressure on your lower back. You can totally use a small stool, a stack of books, even a sturdy box to get the exact same ergonomic benefit.
And this right here, this is your secret weapon, movement. Sitting for hours on end is just draining. So set a timer on your phone. Every half hour, 45 minutes, whatever works for you, just take 2 minutes to do a few of these simple stretches. It fights off fatigue, it resets your posture, and it keeps you energized. It's a game changer.
Okay, so your physical space is optimized. But what about the human element, right? Let's talk about the social side of hybrid work, which, let's be honest, requires a whole new level of effort. Let this number sink in for a second. According to Gallup, a full quarter, 1 in 4 of all remote-capable employees say they feel lonely every single day. That is a huge challenge to our well-being, and it's a major reason for that work-life conflict we saw in the data earlier.
We just can't rely on those spontaneous chats in the hallway or by the coffee machine anymore. And the solution definitely isn't another mandatory virtual happy hour. We have to purposefully, intentionally design moments for real, genuine human connection to happen.
So here's a fantastic, super low-effort example from Dr. Joseph. It's called the 4 Obscure Facts game. The beauty of this is that it doesn't require blocking off another hour on the calendar. It's just a light, fun guessing game that kind of runs in the background of the week, sparking conversations and building that team chemistry that is so priceless.
So for anyone in a leadership role, the key is really to build a multifaceted approach. It's about combining those quick, informal check-ins, creating those digital water coolers, like a Slack channel for pets or weekend trips, and making sure your days in the office are really about collaboration, not just sitting quietly in a cubicle. All right, this leads us perfectly into our final piece of the puzzle, creating a clear and fair structure that everybody understands. This is how we get ahead of confusion and build some real trust.
Now, the cornerstone of any great hybrid setup is what you might call a hybrid work playbook. And look, we're not talking about some massive 100-page rule book here. It's a simple, central guide that just answers the key questions. How do we talk to each other? When should we actually use the office? And how is our work being measured? A really key part of that playbook is defining your communication tools. What's actually urgent and needs a real-time Slack message or a Zoom call, and what's for focused work, like a comment in Google Doc or a quick video update on Loom that people can watch on their own time. Getting clear on this protects everyone's ability to focus. It's huge.
Okay, this one is a critical culture shift. The old way of doing things was all about measuring presence, who's online the longest, who's in the office the most. The modern, and frankly, the fair way is to measure outcomes. This fights that proximity bias by making it crystal clear that the impact of your work is what truly matters, not where you happen to be sitting when you do it.
And what does that do? Well, ultimately, it builds a culture of autonomy and accountability. When you trust your people and empower them with clear goals and the right tools, that's when you unlock the true potential of the hybrid model.
So, we've covered a lot. Your physical space, your human connections, and your team structure. What's the one big idea that really ties this all together?
If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this: success in a hybrid model is not automatic. It requires intentional design. You have to be deliberate about your physical setup, about how you build relationships, about the tools you choose, and about how you structure your time.
This isn't just about adopting to some new way of working. This is a rare opportunity to consciously design a better one that's more productive, more connected, and more balanced for you and for your entire team. The canvas is yours.